It's under severe weather threats from Colorado to New York State.
And more severe storms in the region. In Chicago, strong winds ripped down trees.
Over 100,000 people are without power. During that peak period, almost 400,000 people.
And at least 8 twisters were reported across Iowa and Nebraska. Heavy hail, too.
We also have severe storms moving through the Northeast, New York City, Philadelphia, up through Boston, set to get hit in the coming hours.
The Department of Criminal Justice at North Carolina Central University was chosen to conduct research as one of the United States Department of Homeland Security 2024 Summer Research teams. They are assigned to work at the DHS Center for Accelerated Efficiency at Arizona State University in Tempe, Arizona.
Disaster telemedicine is something that's really up and coming, but it's a use of our current technologies and those emerging technologies in order to address some of the disaster challenges that we have. For disaster telemedicine is really exploring how do you get or how to use the certain types of technology, smartphones, drones, wearables, laptops or whatever type of mobile devices that you may have, and then even satellites to some degree, in order to reach those who are cut off from emergency response operations. If the emergency responders can't get in, then what technologies or what means or measures can we take in order to begin to provide some type of medical assistance to those who are impacted, whether they're injured, by way of, for example, for a tornado, hurricane, earthquake, or what have you. How do we reach them when all avenues towards reaching them has been kind of cut off?
To think about how the telehealth moving forward in that area and helping in those rural communities just within the U.S. and Arizona just as a microcosm, because that's one I'm familiar with, it just really exciting to hear that we're going to be making strides in that area and be able to help.
But what I really like about this research is I grew up in a very rural community where they don't have access to healthcare services and very limited emergency response services. The closest hospital would be 45 minutes away. So thinking about, are there smart ways where we can leverage newer technology such as telemedicine to help at least respond in some sense and improve our response to emergency management and disaster response, and hopefully be able to respond quicker, more efficiently in those things. And I think all those things touch nicely into the things the center do, and also hits home close to me when thinking about rural communities that may not have access to these things but can still be heavily impacted by large-scale disasters.
There's been a lot of work on developing robots that can go into crushed buildings and so forth, and search for people and so forth, obviously canine dogs. But there has been a lot in telemedicine, but we know the healthcare systems can easily break down will be overloaded during disasters. So this capability is very important going forward.
The NCCU Summer Research Team has embarked on an important study exploring the ways in which local emergency management agencies can effectively incorporate disaster telemedicine into their operational protocols. This initiative aims to enhance emergency response capabilities and ensure that medical care can be delivered efficiently during crises. Before we embark on this captivating journey, it is essential to delve into the origins of their path and understand how it all began.
I received a notification from DHS, Department of Homeland Security, from the Educational Division, and ORISE works with DHS. And so it was talking about the Summer Research Team program, which has been going on now for about 15 or 20 years. And so it's an opportunity for faculty and students, graduate and undergraduate students, to really get together, to put a proposal together to work at one of the DHS Centers of Excellence in order to conduct some level of research that focuses on some of the mission areas of DHS. So you have different centers that focus on different mission areas. And the center that we're at, the Center for accelerated operational efficiency. That really deals with the use of technology. And so our project is really focused on the use of telemedicine technology for improving disaster response and recovery operations, and also addressing medical surges during disasters. Good morning.
But yeah, 20 or 21 would be, if I didn't know you were an undergrad and just saw you on the street, maybe 25.
I get that all the time. I think the oldest I've gotten was 28. I was like, wow, that's just.
I would say you look young for being 25.
Yeah.
No,
I was like, yeah.
it's probably the beard.
Yeah, it's the beard.
Well, the two students I have, Deja Ingram and Eric Espinoza. Deja's a first-year graduate student. Eric is a sophomore, and so beginning of next term, then they're both, kind of matriculate. Just kind of having them here in Tempe on site, I think it was an incredible experience for them. We actually engaged in really preparing for this trip, maybe weeks or months prior to coming. And so we put together the work plan, all the different artifacts, all the different forms that we would need, and then put those in a folder, and just in order to prepare them for this journey. And so they've been really pretty good. I mean, they've been very good in following the work plan and carrying out their responsibilities.
Deja and Eric were prepared to engage in this research project at NCCU Department of Criminal Justice, which involves its students in rigorous research in its undergraduate and graduate programs.
Oftentimes, students do not understand that they can be involved in criminal justice, homeland security, and in other ways other than direct practice. And so getting students involved in research is another way to show them avenues for employment, to be engaged in the study of criminal justice without that direct practice. And often it's a little bit more lucrative, and students don't realize that research really does pay. And the impact is a lot wider because research reaches a larger audience. And a lot of times our students are really looking on that social justice side with policy. Policy is developed out of research. And so having them to understand their impact, their reach through research really does open their eyes.
Deja, from her undergrad degree, she was an excellent student, and she showed the potential of doing work to the highest quality. She came to the graduate program, and she took that to the graduate program. So when the opportunity came up, and because I knew her work ethics, the quality of work that she produces, I recommended her.
Dr. Grant, she sent out an email and told us that we should apply for this position. The position was a research team doing disaster telemedicine. And at first I knew what telemedicine was, but I didn't know exactly what disaster telemedicine was. And I looked up and I started to do research, and I saw how it could help people. And I met with Dr. Muhammad after I sent him an email saying that I wanted to try and see what this was about. And once he told me more that we would be doing research on disaster telemedicine for North Carolina, and it would be brought to a bigger purpose with the Department of Homeland Security and how we could help millions of people around the world and even in different countries, that made me strive to want to do this even more.
Dr. Muhammad, he's my professor, so he told me about this opportunity early in the semester, and he told me that there was going to be a chance to work with DHS, and then as we know, DHS stands for Department of Homeland Security, so that's where the FBI falls under, so I figured this would be a great opportunity to learn more about them and use this as a stepping stone to achieve my goals and my objectives.
The successful execution of the research project necessitated the active involvement of both the leadership and staff at CAOE and the NCCU SRT team.
Good morning. Nice to meet you.
It was really good. Yeah, got a little bit of sun.
All right.
Eric Creech.
Deja, so nice to meet you.
I take a pretty key role in the initial parts of the SRT program and kind of the logistics of them getting here and getting set up here. So I do a pretty key role with that. So it's from getting them set up within ASU's systems and programs so they can access everything at ASU, whether that's just computer access as well as building access. I kind of work through that entire process with the SRT teams to get them set up and get them ready. So once they're here, we try to do a lot of that before they get here so we can hit the ground running with research. It's a little bit of a challenge with people coming from outside the university. It's just getting them in the system, getting them set up. So that's a big part of what I do, as well as just kind of general contact for them with getting here, helping them find housing while they're going to be here for the 10-week program. Just kind of that general contact, one of the general contacts, kind of help them run smoothly and getting into their research, being able to get here and be able to handle it.
I assist with the education programs from a mostly financial and administrative perspective, and help a little bit with the events. I usually end up pretty involved in our events and our activities that happen throughout the year, each year. And so we're at the tail end of year 7 of our center, and we expect it's funded for 10 years.
This is just getting ready to start our 8th year as a Center of Excellence. So that means you're probably our 16th or 17th Summer Research team coming here. So we're really excited to have all the different groups here, and hopefully everybody will have a really nice summer working on research and learning different skills. Typically we have in-person meetings twice a week with check-ins every day. Julian will be working with all of you very closely, but if you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out to myself or Ron. I'm here every day. It's just whether or not you see me is more a function of whether or not I managed to make it down to the 3rd floor. But I'm here, and if you need anything, don't hesitate to say, hey, Dr. Ross, I need something.
Because I do want to work for the government. What I want to do, I don't know yet, but I feel like this will help me expand my knowledge to understand where I want to go in my career path.
Well, we should make sure we get some time for you.
My area is really quantitative modeling systems, so I do a lot of operations research, some statistics, but operations research, if you don't know, is basically building systems of equations to describe how systems perform.
A lot of our projects have been focused on this intersection of taking data, taking operations research, economic analysis, risk science, and trying to think about where are ways we can gain efficiencies. And a lot of this came from the idea of, can we build a diverse and inclusive workforce? So tapping into the resources that we have at minority serving institutes, historical Black colleges, and just getting people exposed to doing research and working with the Department of Homeland Security.
So the SRTs are a way to get minority serving institutions, faculty who may not have a chance to do a lot of research because they have heavy teaching responsibilities and other things, to spend their summers learning about both the research process and to work on problems relevant to DHS. The goal is to start something here and continue it later on. develop into an ongoing research program, yes.
The summer research team is kind of part of our education arm. We kind of try and integrate those teams in with our summer internships. So we have a research experience for undergraduate students. So we've got a couple of students here that are in-house that are working on specific research projects, and also career opportunities for them, because really that's a big part of the SRT experience also, is to learn about different job opportunities and career paths within DHS and the different component agencies. The jobs at DHS aren't just the ones that you immediately think about with the security officers going through TSA checkpoints at airports. It's not just those people. Those people are very significant and important, but for somebody that's working towards a PhD in computer science, they want to see a path for them. And there are so many career opportunities in that respect. And so that's really what we try and help open the eyes of student undergrads and graduate students to those kinds of aspects.
You're going to extrapolate from the articles, what is the methodology that was used?
Before beginning, the research team carefully reviewed the work plan. This process ensured that every team member understood their responsibilities and the overall goals of the project.
That's all. Now, you might not get everything, because some of these articles, you might not be able to get all of these different items. Job done individually, and then the regular blank is a group thing.
Okay.
And I'll update the group stuff.
So this week we're doing that, right?
Yeah, and then I'm just going to update the introduction and all that.
Wednesday? Yeah. So if I have to know Wednesday, what do we do when the days we come in and I don't really know? Right. They won't know. You mean that, hey, that's all we need. I was trying to change it because I was looking at the stuff I was doing, like, I could really finish it today, but I didn't want to do all day today. Yeah. So work for me is, pretty simple. It's just a lot of research. You're constantly on the computer searching up things, researching things, trying to find someone's contact information, trying to see if it's valid, trying to see if it's up to date. Just constantly looking through websites, looking through government websites as well, their official county websites as well, and just trying to get as much accurate information as you can.
There's not much research on disaster telemedicine. So even though there's research on telemedicine, there's not really on disaster telemedicine. So we have to really look at what we're trying to figure out. And then on top of that, the emergency management agencies don't really have implementations for disaster telemedicine.
The main difficulties would probably be just finding accurate information, because most of the stuff we find on their websites is usually not updated, so it takes a few minutes to actually find the right one, and then sometimes you have to contact the person that was in charge before just so they could let you know how to find the person that's actively in charge.
All right, let me see where you are.
A critical part was learning the importance of research methodology. Understanding this gave them the tools to ask the right questions, identify and analyze information well, and ensure their findings could stand up to scrutiny.
Up and running. We got those county agencies. We start with North Carolina, and we can set the best practices for implementation integrating disaster telemedicine. And that's what we're aiming for. So everybody right now is an expert in this thing, and then as we continue on with the research and the follow-up funding, it will become a little bit, and that's the goal. Because it ain't gonna get no better, it's gonna get worse. And so folks need to just get that in their mind, So, y'all, everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's
what the students did on the research team, Deja and Eric, is that they looked at 101 county emergency management agencies, made sure that we had the correct contact information, went on their websites, kind of surfed their websites to see what type of documents, what type of planning documents that they had, and then those that had emergency response plans, mitigation plans and whatnot, then they downloaded those plans. We looked at the plans, but we really extrapolated from those plans the planning assumptions, because most of the emergency management plans, disaster management plans, whatnot, will have those planning assumptions. Now, those planning assumptions would inform the direction of that plan. So we're assuming that we're going to have a mass casualty event. Lights are going to be out, power is going to be out, and whatnot. We're assuming that in certain types of disasters, you're going to have these number of like casualties, this damage to the infrastructure, and then some of emergency services capabilities might be challenged due to transportation barriers or whatnot.
At the midpoint report, following 5 weeks of dedicated work on the research project, the student researchers presented their achievements to the leadership of CAOE. They shared insights into their progress, highlighted key findings, and the collaborative effort that fueled their exploration. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation as the students articulated their experiences and discoveries, showcasing the hard work and creativity they poured into the project.
They have, stuff like batteries, cell phones, stuff that you can't find.
There were several challenges encountered during the research project. For example, adjustments to the work plan, the IRB requirements, and data collection strategies caused some frustration among the research team.
So we sent our plans out, we sent our work plan out to have it approved. And the work plan kind of breaks down our research, the milestones based on the 10-week period that we'll be here. And the things that we want to achieve during this 10-week period is delineated very carefully and concisely in that research work plan.
The first couple of weeks, the work plan was to create the email, go through the list of emergency management agencies, get their contact information, the fax numbers, emails. Then after that, we had another meeting, and he told us that we should do, instead of just North Carolina emergency management agencies, do North Carolina and Arizona.
So basically at least my part was assigned, and it was basically in the work plan. I already knew what I was going to do before we even got to the office the first day. But then as soon as we got there, we had some different stuff to do. They told us to add Arizona to the local emergency managers as well. And then right after that, once we started doing Arizona, then they told us to not do it.
So I have to do the IRB process. Could you kind of take me through what all I have to do?
The Institutional Review Board, or IRB, plays a vital role in protecting the rights and well-being of research participants by ensuring studies are conducted ethically and responsibly.
And we have a system here.
I also helped with the IRB process. Me and Dr. Muhammad went through all of the documents that we needed to do. We created an email which basically told individuals what we were doing and what we needed from them. I created the survey. I also helped conduct a list of emergency management agencies, their contact information and their directors, and then we ended up sending off the IRB information to ASU and the Department of Homeland Security. And once that came back, we were able to send out our survey, and now we were waiting on responses.
All right. Any thoughts? Just send out the survey. What you think? What you feeling about it?
I'm hoping that we get some type of responses. I don't really know how I feel about us doing it the bulk, because I know we kind of talked about how we should do it one agency at a time, I guess, to make them feel seen or noticed. So I don't know if we're going to get any responses because of that. You send it out 3 o'clock here, 6 o'clock there, nobody's in the office, and then on top of that, it's a holiday weekend.
The holiday weekend, yeah. So I don't know. I didn't expect that. I thought we could send it out on our own email and do it the way we wanted to do so. I don't know. I don't feel good as great about it as I did.
The data collection strategy fell short of the research team's expectations, leaving them feeling disheartened. They had envisioned a more robust approach to gathering survey data, anticipating that their efforts would yield more significant and impactful results.
I was told that I was going to be sending out the survey with my own email, and I was supposed to CC everybody on the email, but that didn't even happen. So it's I'm doing all this work, but yet
I can't send out the survey, and that was a part of what I was supposed to do on my work plan. And now I feel like my work plan is just going downhill, I guess you can say.
Like, we're expecting to, I'd say, do it a different way, because Dr. Ross wanted us to send it all on one, so they all, like, as a bulk, and they all wanted to, like, kind of BBC them. That way they don't see who's being sent to, so we kind of wanted to send them one by one. That way they see that we consider them important and see how we want them to actually participate in it.
So we get back, we just do our own, we just go through our own RRB, make the contacts, and reissue it under NCCU.
Yeah, because isn't it the same thing? Just change up the wording from, I guess, ASU to Central?
Well, we need to take it, well, it's under his name, so it'll be under ours, and that way...
yeah, it'd be under yours, yeah.
Under, it would be to follow up better. But we got to do that as soon as we get in, though. So I'm going to start putting together the application before we leave.
Okay.
And submit it. So by the time we're done here, we should at least be near approval.
Well, they didn't tell us until, like, we were 2 weeks in.
Yeah, because I remember Amy was saying that we could have done, we would have to do centrals if we want to send it out ourselves.
So how y'all classes coming?
Good.
Good. I have a discussion forum and a paper I got to write. My 2 last assignments.
I knew all about the program, but didn't know all the specifics. When we got selected and received the research appointment, of course, everybody was elated. It was published in the university newsletter online, and their pictures were actually featured. We had to make sure we had the resources first, because we wouldn't get compensated. So there's certain levels of stipends. The graduate students get this type of stipend, undergrad this type of stipend weekly, plus money to support housing. So we just felt it was best for us to be housed in a condo that we would live together. Because it's a new environment, you can get exhausted quick, and they're away from their parents. And so you have those challenges where we want to be as supportive of one another as we can. So we work together to pool our resources, which of course they didn't really have. So basically we just had to make sure that we had a place to stay. And so that was just challenging, some of the coordination stuff.
Y'all turned her on in July though, right? Oh, okay. Did he drive my car? Oh. I mean, he liked to drive my car. Being away from my family, that's kind of a huge challenge for me, because I'm definitely a home girly. Love my family. I'm definitely family oriented. So being away from my sisters, my nephews, it's really hard on me. And then the time difference, that was the biggest challenge for me. I go to sleep at like 6, 7 o'clock here, which will be like 9, 10 o'clock back in North Carolina. And then I'm up at like 3, 4 o'clock here. So I'm trying to get my body adjusted here. Okay, you can drive Delilah too. Let her see the road. Delilah ain't got no gas? How y'all drive my car and don't put gas in it?
I want to have situational awareness on my students, and that's my main priority. Not even the research, is that if we're going to be here, then they have to be in a situation where they're comfortable, where they're safe, where they're healthy, and where they have the support that they need should they get sick or should they encounter some challenges while being here. You don't want nobody to feel isolated and like alone in this strange environment where it's 119 degrees outside.
¿Otros no que ya tienes como 3 pares?
No, pero es que apenas fue al doctor.
¿Y que ya está más ciego?
Sí, ya le pidieron para la licencia.
This is the first time I've ever really, stepped out of home for this long. So obviously I'm missing my parents, I'm missing my brothers, my dogs, my stray dog that we found on the streets. So it's been a rough time being here. I'm a family person, so I always like being around family. So it's just been hard actually being in a whole nother state, especially almost basically across the whole damn United States.
Le dicen, no quiere, la dan despierto mandando mensajes a las 3 de la mañana.
¿Y qué tal? ¿Cómo viste el partido?
Bien, te dije que Argentina iba a ganar.
Sí, pero ¿viste cómo dejaron? Se pasan.
The journey was not solely focused on research. They created a wealth of unforgettable memories through a delightful blend of work and play.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eric. Happy birthday to you.
So everyone else's job is to help that person figure out what it is. So I would turn this over without looking at it, and I just pick a number.
Amid the intensity of research and analysis, the team joined CAOE staff and others in unwinding with office games. This helps the teams form camaraderie.
That's cool.
Oh, dang. They're busy today.
Hey.
Yeah.
I think the environment does that. Like when you change the environment.
I know I lost weight. I know damn well I did. Yeah, I don't think I really gained any weight.
Some of the most meaningful moments of the research journey were around the dining table at restaurants. There, the team broke bread, exchanged ideas, challenged perspectives, and strengthened bonds. They discovered that research is not just about data and findings, but about people, relationships, and the shared commitment to learning and discovery. They explored breathtaking historic sites, marveling at the stunning landscapes of Sedona and the majestic grandeur of the Grand Canyon.
It was fun. There was a bracelet that I had wanted to get my sister, but they didn't have it in a bracelet. They only had it in a necklace.
Oh.
It was for mother of one.
Okay. She might have liked it.
And I don't got a damn dollar on me.
I do. Look at that right there. Hey, get some stuff to ship home. Is that marble?
Daisha and Eric had the enlightened opportunity to engage in meaningful conversations with a vibrant group of students from Africa who were visiting the United States as part of a prestigious government exchange program.
We are here to do research at ASU in Tempe. We're doing it with the Center of Excellence for Department of Homeland Security, and we're doing research on implementing disaster telemedicine and emergency management operations and plans.
My name is Eric Espinoza, and I as well go to North Carolina Central University, and Deja is my partner, so we're both working on the same thing. Go straight.
Can I go down this do not enter?
I mean, if you want to die.
Around the 60 to 80 range, but I'm pretty sure it was closer to 80 than it was.
Okay. And that's the response plan that y'all looked at and extracted in the planning decision.
After 10 weeks of research and engagement at CAOE, the SRT team presented their final research presentation. The audience consisted of CAOE, the Department of Homeland Security, and ORISE administrators and staff. Dr. Muhammad, Eric, and Deja shared the significance of their research, reviewed research questions, methodology, data collection strategies, milestones, surveys, and research findings. They also answered questions from the audience.
I was going to pick up a photo over there.
They were complimented with professionalism, clarity, and thoroughness of the research.
First of all, congratulations on a very innovative, thoughtful, and broad-reaching presentation. I can see a lot of effort went into this.
The presentation not only highlighted the students' academic growth and research skills, but also reinforced the practical value of telemedicine in strengthening community resilience during disasters.